All right, a lot of people want to know how America can be powered. All right. Now, what the president could do is the government could help pay off their debts by selling to private industries. Maybe they could make a deal with certain solar companies where they make them so many solar panels and they get to share in the revenue. You know, kind of like entrepreneurs when they invest in companies and the companies make a product. They could possibly do a deal with the government where they make product and the government gets a percentage, and the government wouldn't have to sell shares of the company, so they get a percentage of the revenue, but they wouldn't be able to forcefully make them sell their shares. And they'd have to add a bunch of stuff to the contracts if they were wanting to do contracts. One side would be solar panels. The other side might be a nonprofit, might be a for-profit, all right? They'd have their air water generators in the desert, probably borrowing some of the paying for the solar based off of people making donations, for the people that are trying to create their spaceships and time travel devices. So first they have to figure out which alien species they are, because we got to make sure this place is near Area 51. And then they have to make their species sounds. So they've got to constantly be making their sounds if they want to choose that direction. They always give them the option of bailing out of this stuff. And then after they start making those sounds and they're committed, each individual would have their own, what people might call spaceship or tent. You know, you might have to have aluminum shacks out there or whatever they bring. You know, they might bring pieces of cars and vehicles and have them all in grids and shit. And all that would be required would be providing food, water, and wiping materials like rags and stuff. They always dig a giant hole in the ground and bury all their crap. Each individual would be making those sounds and being fed. So that way they create their species in these, I'm not going to say breeding tents. I mean, they might breed. And if there's something that happens, somebody might build a prison nearby or they might disappear to Area 51. As a potential build for ground mount solar. And then the power sources obviously be going to Vegas or whatnot. And there could be a whole bunch of different solar panel sites all throughout the state and partnerships with the government where they are like cooperative share buying. So they buy the land at a discounted rate, they build the solar stuff, and then the government gets like 10%, 20%, depending on how many shares they have and the valuation, because sometimes the parts and products could be expensive, and the government might be lucky to get 10 or 20%.